What a perfectly beautiful day. Uh, there, this is such a special day for so many reasons. Um, the most of which it is Aidan Gaffney's birthday. And he has left such an extraordinary legacy through his family, who I am honored to know and love. And when we opened our very first playground in September of 2000, it really was it's all we ever thought we would do. We were going to build a memorial project in memory of Shane, and then just let the seeds be planted and grow where they might. And right after we opened, we received a call from the Gaffney family that said, we have 3 beautiful boys, one of which is Aidan. And by the time he gets across town to play at Shane's Inspiration, he's exhausted from the traffic and the journey. And so we'd love to join forces and see what we could create on the west side of town so that Aidan would have a place to play. And I often think if that call would have never come, what might not have ever been, because it completely shifted the trajectory of what we were thinking. And we rolled up our sleeves and we worked with this beautiful family and their extraordinary community that just rose up around the idea of building this second playground. And unfortunately, we lost Aidan on June 26th, but we opened the playground on December 5th, on his birthday. And since that time, the amount of children that have played here is just tens of thousands of children, and many of which who've been engaged in our Together We Are Able education program that you see at play here today. And it's an opportunity for children of all abilities to come together in play, to dissolve harmful misconceptions, and to build bridges of friendship, understanding, and dignity and respect and laughter. And that is Aidan's legacy, and that is the Gaffney family's legacy. And we are forever grateful. So thank you so much for all these years. And then the City of LA Rec and Parks Department, who we've had a 25-year relationship with, and we can't say enough good things about everyone that we work with there, had an opportunity they had some Quimby funds, some developer funds that needed to be utilized in this area. And so Nicole, Aidan's mom, a few years prior to that had said, this playground has been so loved, and I think it's showing the wear of that love. And it'd be amazing if maybe we could begin talking about where we might be able to find some additional funding so that we could reimagine Aidan's place and create another 20 years or 30 or 40 years of legacy of play and friendship. And so we started talking to the Recreation and Parks Department, and sure enough, there was actually some funding. And so the city allocated $1.35 million for this playground. However, Diane Scanlon, Diane, can you raise your hand? Everybody see her? Diane is our landscape architect who designed this masterpiece. And Diane had designed a 1.55 inclusive playground. And so the Gaffney family once again rose up with the grandparents, Eileen and James Gaffney, as well as Marianne Gilbert and her family and all their children. And collectively, they bridged the gap. And they sponsored the very first all-inclusive sensory play area that you will discover, and I hope to see all of you actually playing on it. It's with all of the spinners, and it's under the shade structure. So thank you so much for bridging that and making that possible. And so many children, in fact, according to the CDC, 1 in every 44 children is on the autism spectrum. So all of those children and many more are going to just have the most fun playing in that space that's specifically designed for them, but also is engaging and fun for all children. So thank you so much. There are so many people to thank, because for those of you who are local, you know that California, who never gets rain, got a lot of rain last week. And they were pouring the surfacing, the rubberized surfacing, and it cannot be poured when it's raining. And so the crews, they were doubling up, and they were making sure that they were getting done as much as possible before any more rain came. And then they were out here just waiting, and Diane flew in from Texas, and she was making sure that she could do whatever she needed to do to make sure that the work just kept moving. And here we are, like a miracle, because we really did not think it might open. So I really want to thank Evergreen, who was the construction company that worked tirelessly through Thanksgiving weekend, days and nights. And so Juan and Roy and your entire crew, thank you so much. Thank you to Rec West, who is the playground equipment manufacturer that made sure that all of the equipment was showing up and that everything was here and they had what they needed. Thank you to SpectraTurf, who did the surfacing, really a miracle. And to Chris, and from Bravo Signs, who put the sign in, I think Friday. It's a new and improved sign. So, and the City of Los Angeles, who just supported this project every step along the way. So thank you so much to all of you. And now we want to welcome Councilmember Koretz.
Well, good morning, everyone. This is a very exciting day. It's a pleasure to join all of you for the grand opening of Aidan's Place 2.0, I guess, renovated, and just a wonderful project. This is the first time I've seen it completed or close to completion, and it's just amazing. 20 years ago, almost to the day, we celebrated the opening of the first Aidan's Place, the second fully accessible playground in the entire United States. And I think especially after having a second one, I think it really provided momentum for other places to look at doing the same thing. And so hopefully this is not just a joyful occasion for all of us here in the city of Los Angeles, but it continues to spread across the country, that fully accessible playgrounds should be available everywhere. It was a bit of a frustration to me and kind of a shock that this was not universally applauded. There were some folks in the Westwood community that said, we need to stop spending money on young kids, that it's mostly senior citizens and middle-aged folks here, and we should provide more funding and more projects for them. But just so you know, we weren't having any of it, and we fought the good fight, and it slowed down the process a little bit, frankly, but here we are, and this is so exciting. And I'm an outgoing council member. This is actually my last week, and so the last few weeks we've been trying to make sure everything on our list got done. And I am so excited that this is here and this is done. I think this is probably my last public community event and our last accomplishment, but certainly the best one. This is so exciting, and I'm honored that we're able to continue Aidan's legacy and to celebrate this wonderful upgrade that will inspire families and have children enjoy play that they might not otherwise have been able to engage in for many, many years to come. So I want to thank the Westwood community, the Department of Rec and Parks, the Park Board, the neighborhood councils, and of course Aidan's parents for all their efforts. They didn't have to keep doing this, but they did it, and it's made such a difference. And so I want to thank everybody, and this is so exciting that I actually get to be here and participate in this. One of the best things we've done in my 13 years on the council. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Councilmember. And I also just want to thank you for the many years that you've provided bus transportation to the local schools in your district who have participated in the Together We Are Able education program because of you. So thank you so much. And now I'm going to introduce Laura Island. Laura Island, I don't know your exact title, but she is the director of the Adaptive Recreation Program of the City of Los Angeles Recreation and Parks Department. And for those who don't know, the City of Los Angeles received $160 million from LA 28 and to really develop and strengthen youth sports, but also to establish adaptive youth sports in the city. And that is what Laura Island oversees. And we're so excited about the ever-growing work that she's doing. So I'd love you to come up. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's such a nice morning today, and to see so many people in all the purple, it's fabulous. So thank you very much for having me here, Tiffany, and Inclusion Matters. My name is Laura Island. I'm the Principal Recreation Supervisor for the Department of Recreation and Parks, West Region. And as Tiffany said, I'm the Supervisor over Adaptive Sports. On behalf of our General Manager, Jimmy Kim, and our Board of Commissioners, we are thrilled about the new playground equipment and improvements made to Aidan's Place. I am overwhelmed by all of the amazing new features and play equipment that we see today at this beautifully designed playground. I have been working with youth and adults with disabilities for over 30 years, and I cannot tell you how important it is to have playgrounds for children of all abilities. I am very proud that our department is the forerunner in developing inclusive playgrounds and have made it our mission to promote universal play across our entire park system. Within 2 decades, playgrounds, Griffith Park being the #1 and Aidan's Place here being the 2nd, we have multiplied into 35 and will be opening number 36 in Elysian Park very soon. In November of 2021, we launched our Play LA Youth and Adaptive Youth Sports Program, an initiative that provides free sports programming to young Angelenos of all abilities. The initiative is made possible by LA 28 Olympic and Paralympic Games and the International Olympic Organizing Committee, which invested $160 million in sports for kids across Los Angeles. Today, we have Jacqueline Lopez, Irving Moreno, and our newest member of our team, Fred Medivosian, are here to share with you all of the exciting adaptive sports that we currently have available free of cost all across the city. And you'll see our tent right across here, so please come by and visit. In closing, I would like to thank Tiffany Harris and Inclusion Matters by Shane's Inspiration for parlaying this global movement of inclusivity in recreation. You have set the bar high, and we look forward to continuing our collaboration in building playgrounds that are accessible to all. Thank you, Councilmember Koretz, for all of the support and leadership you have provided to our department during your leadership. You will be missed. To Aidan's family, for the development of Aidan's Place, an inclusive playground where children with and without disabilities play and thrive together. Happy heavenly birthday to Aidan, who I am sure is looking down on us with a big smile. And to our maintenance and construction, I see you back there in the back, maintenance. Thank you for doing everything you needed to do to ensure that this playground opened in time for Aidan's birthday today. Good job, good job. To our Recreation and Park staff, Director Jason Liss, Coordinator Adam Smith, and the entire Adaptive Sports team, thank you. And of course, to the community and volunteers who are here today, your advocacy and support is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Laura. And I just echo again our gratitude to City of LA, to the maintenance, to everybody who's, their work is seemingly invisible, but without the collective force that it takes to create and maintain a playground like this, none of this is possible. So thank you so much. And now, I have the honor of bringing up the Gaffney family. And I just have such a deep well of gratitude in my heart for all of you. And of all the people I've met in my life, you live as one of the most meaningful people that I will ever have the privilege of knowing. And you have gifted to this community and for decades and decades joy and respect. Nicole sent me a few sayings that were meaningful to their family, and one was by Eric Carlisle, and it's kindness is, oh now I have to remember, kindness matters, laughter is essential, and taking care of each other is everything. So you have created all of that and so much more here, and we're just so grateful. So please come on up.
Here, try to stand right next to me. It'll make me less nervous. Okay, does this go down? No. Okay. Good morning. I'm Nicole Gaffney, and on behalf of our family, Connor, Declan, Liam, Owen, and Charlie, and Big Charlie, we'd like to welcome you here, and we thank you for joining us today. We thank you for supporting our family and for Inclusion Matters and their mission, but most importantly, we thank you for recognizing the necessity in creating inclusive playgrounds which improve the quality of daily life for children like Aidan. Aidan was born on December 5th, 1995. He was a beautiful, bright-eyed baby boy, but had a progressive neuromuscular disease that made him medically fragile and handicapped. Many of his days were cluttered with therapies, doctor's appointments, treatments, procedures, extended hospital stays in the pediatric ICU at UCLA and Cedars-Sinai, thank God for them, and present for scary conversations with the medical team. Aidan was the oldest of our 6 sons. Connor and Declan were 2 and 3 years younger than Aidan. On a day that Aidan's schedule was free, we would venture to the park. For a child, going to a local playground should be and is a fun adventure, a typical part of their childhood. For a child like Aidan, going to a traditional playground was not a typical experience. It was an uninviting space that had boundaries. The nonverbal message was crystal clear. Children like Aidan were not welcome. That reality had to change, and thank God it did, and we're here today. So I'm going to share a brief little story. One day, Aidan was feeling good, and we decided to gather together and go to the park. So Connor and Declan and Aidan, myself, and my mom came with me. We went to Holmby Park. Aidan in his wheelchair, I wheeled over Connor and Declan with their trucks and shovels, getting settled in the sandbox. As always, we got them settled, we turned around, and we went to find a bench to sit down because Aidan was not able to participate. Connor and Declan were playing and having a great time. Out of the blue, a woman sat next to me. There were plenty of places to sit. I knew why she sat by me. She was curious as to what my situation was. But I was, friendly and smiled. And shortly after she sat down, she looked at me and said, "If you don't mind me asking, what's wrong with your baby?" Just like that. Clearly, she was asking about Aidan. But in our house, Aidan was the older brother, and Declan, where's Declan? Declan was the baby. So Aidan, who was nonverbal but would cluck to gather your attention like this, got my attention to tend to looking at Declan. So I looked over at Declan and I said to the woman, "Oh, don't worry, that baby boy of mine, all he does is eat sand. They're like, the doctor says it's normal, it's fine. He just eats sand." Because it was so hurtful and harmful for Aidan to feel like he was the baby and that there was something wrong with him, right? Now, I'm not angry at this woman. I think she asked the question because she was genuinely curious, because children like Aidan were not welcome in playgrounds. She had never seen a handicapped child at a playground. She was just curious. But it was clear the world had to change. So I'm happy to say we've made a lot of changes, and we're at this inclusive playground, and there are many more to go visit. So in closing, I am overflowing with gratitude as we celebrate the reopening of Aidan's Place. This inclusive sensory-enriched playground invites all children of all abilities to come together and play. We know that inclusive environments make the world a kinder, gentler place for children like Aidan. Charlie and I thank our families, many of which have traveled far to be with us today. We thank our supportive and loyal friends, the local community, city officials, landscape structures, Inclusion Matters, and my dear friend Tiffany Harris. On a personal note, I would like to thank Charlie, my husband, my chronic cheerleader who always helps me out and has my back. I'd like to thank my 5 beautiful sons who fill me with infinite joy and helped heal a broken heart, for sharing this journey with me. And I'd like to thank my sweet, beautiful Aidan for choosing me to be his mom. I'm grateful for that, and I appreciate that he trusted me to be his voice for change. In closing, I'd like to say, my wish for all of you today is when you leave here after having a wonderful, playful experience, you feel good about yourself because you have helped today happen. Therefore, you have made a difference in children's lives like Aidan. Thank you.
Koretz.